Hello, and welcome to Trigger Warnings Book Club, the show where we talk about the books that make us laugh, cry, and clutch our pearls. We're your hosts, Holly and Caitlin. With us, as always, our producer, Andrew. And today, we're sharing our top 5 books to read this summer in 2026. But before we get into that discussion, let's talk about what we're currently reading right now. Who would like to start?
I feel like I'm a good place to start because I have to announce I have read my first book of 2026, Morning Glory Milking Farm.
And what
Boo.
a way to
Boo.
start. Start the year with
No.
a bang.
I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed.
You should feel
I
left
mean, this
out.
just gives Caitlin incentive to read the book because she
and
can't
this
be
is
left
what
out.
manipulation looks like, everybody. Okay?
Yep.
You're witnessing it here.
Yep.
Everybody, I am being manipulated.
I would just
we are
like
guilt
to
tripping
point
you
out.
into it. Yes,
I've
that's
survived
correct.
2 whole years.
Yeah,
of
and
Holly
Andrew got it
trying to
done.
force
And
this
I did
book
it
upon me.
in a weekend.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Andrew's
to work. I'm
joined
gonna
this
tell my boss.
podcast like a month.
I'm gonna
And
go to
he's
work.
already
I'm gonna
doing
tell
it.
my boss, and my boss is going to feel sad for me because she read that book.
But secretly, she'll feel glee.
Well, you know what? We may record an episode, a little teaser about the book, so maybe you can listen to it and find out if it's right for you. But right now, CJ, what are you reading?
So I finished The Story of Us by Lucy Score. It was cute. It was funny. It was about a romance author who gets divorced and has a deep dark spiral and pulls herself out of it by moving to a small town, and she basically has to save the small town. Very Hallmarky. And at first I was like, I don't
Sounds
know
like
how
it.
this is gonna go. I don't know if I really want this, but it kind of like, Holly, do you remember some of Megan Quinn's books where they're like,
Oh, the Christmas one?
yeah, like the Christmas one where it's comically, it's making fun of a little bit. It's kind of like that. So it's funny. And then I have started A Dark Lord's Guide to Dating. 2 very different books. I'd like that
Which
to
is
be
our July book club.
book
thing.
club. Which we'll be recording next week.
Yeah.
Just in time for the end of July.
Yes.
I
That's
am
my
also in
fault.
the middle of that one. We're both behind on that one, so it's all good. I would not have finished it by today. Yeah, currently in the middle of that one. And then I'm also in the middle of One Last Stop, which is exciting for personal reasons. If you know, you know. It's on my 26 and 2026 list. Feeling pretty good about it. I did recently today get to the multiple parts where they have sex on the subway, which, as somebody who frequently is on the subway, icked out for many reasons. Like, one time there's
Yeah.
nobody on the subway with them, but other times there are. And
Icky.
icky on so many physically icky, health wise, emotionally icky, imagining somebody going to Pound Town while I'm on the subway, you know?
Yeah.
Disturbing all around.
Okay.
I explained it to my sister because she really doesn't like this one. I like the story of this one. I don't really care for the romance, which doesn't make sense because the romance is the story, but in my head that makes
Is
sense.
it the New York subway?
Yes, it's the Q train in Brooklyn specifically.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
The character, in their defense, the one character is stuck on the subway for sci-fi reasons. So where else are they supposed to get it on, I guess? But, that's what I'm reading. Do you love comedy? Do you love smutty romance books? Do you love smutty romance books and comedy? If you answered yes to all 3, and let's be honest, you did. You're already here. Subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss the new episodes we drop every Monday. And while I'm at it, we have a new website, triggerwarningsbookclub.com. All our episodes are monthly TBR and a daily game called Romancel. 6 guesses to figure out the romance book of the day. Now self-promotion is over. Maybe.
And now we start our summer reading recommendations.
So are these books. First of all, are these going to be in order of your favorite or just no general order?
No general order.
No, no
Okay, no
order.
general order. And these are books with a summer theme or like just easy to read, like on a beach. What's your criteria for summer book?
I'm so glad you asked.
Vibes.
Vibes. Like, we do usually with these, like, seasonal TBRs try to stick to the season. I went off script a little bit, but I kind of made it work by, like, picking ones for different moods. Because also,
Yeah.
like, to be fair, I haven't been this summer in a huge romance mood. Like, normally this would be packed full of romance reads for me,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't been into that. So if you're kind of struggling like me, I tried to get a little something, something for everyone.
Mm.
Yeah, I tried to pick books that I didn't mention last year when we did this because
That
in all
too.
honesty, the ones that I mentioned last year, I'm going to real quick like rattle those off. Those are like my top recommendations for summer reading recs. So that's Till Summer Do Us Part, Tourist Trap, and Just for the Summer. But I tried not to repeat myself because if you've been here for a while, you know how I feel about those three. So
Yeah.
I also went for different moods, kinda.
Yeah.
It was really
And
just vibes.
yeah. And we each have 5 books, and then I have 2 honorable mentions that I won't go into as much detail, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Summer book recommendations 2026. CJ, please start us off.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you the title, and I want you to guess at least a trope, a general idea, a general
Oh,
feeling.
and we all know I'm pretty good at this because I got one right last time.
So the first book is P.S. I Hate You.
P.S. I hate you. Okay, so they're
Yes.
pen pals, and they're pen pals, but they have like a angsty relationship. Like they're kind of like negging each other. Then they meet up in person, and things happen, and they fall in love.
A
So
solid
like
guess.
I guess enemies to lovers, and then fake dating, maybe.
Enemies to Lovers is somewhat correct. So it's not necessarily like a super summary book, but there's a whole bunch of trips and traveling involved. So it follows a girl whose brother died of cancer. So it's a little bit heavier of a summer read. But he dies of cancer and he leaves her these letters. But in order to he wrote like her a bucket list of trips that he wanted to go on that he never got to because he died. So in order to get these letters, she has to go on these trips, but she has to go on these trips with her brother's best friend who she hates.
Oh, I see.
And as they're going, they have to spread his ashes in each place.
Okay.
Yes. I do have to say it it graphically depicted her getting her brother's ashes and then trying to divide them up into Ziploc bags of equal parts for each of these trips. And I don't know why I found that morbidly hilarious. But I kind of did because I felt like that
Is
would be
there
me if like I was struck by grief trying to figure it out and I'd be like, no, it has to be even. There has to be a scale.
is there a moment in the journey where they have to stay at a hotel but they only have one bed?
I believe so, but it's been over
Mm,
a year since I read it.
okay. So I was pretty far off. Nothing to do with pen pals whatsoever.
No.
The enemies to lovers
Dead
part,
brother,
kinda.
best friend.
Yeah, Dead Brother's
Okay.
best friend.
That's a
Gotcha.
unique trope, to be fair.
It is. It
Mhm.
is. I knew I was going to stump you with that one, which is why I started with it.
Yeah.
Holly, what's your book?
Okay. So just to give a little caveat, we're each having Andrew guess one of like the books. I'm gonna save mine for one of my honorable mentions because I think it has the potential to be really funny.
Okay.
So stay tuned for the end. The first one, as Caitlin mentioned, there's Tourist Trap, so I'm not gonna go into that one. But this is if you're really in the romance mood, and of course, we could not have a recommendations episode without mentioning my girl Morgan Elizabeth. And she just came out with a perfect summer romance called Lucky Girl Summer. It's the second book in the same series as Tourist Trap. You don't really need to read them in order because they're like interconnected, but you should. So this is, I guess, kind of like if you don't care about that or you read Tourist Trap last year and you're like, man, I wish something hit like that. this one could.
Which I have intentionally not been reading this because I've been waiting to see you so I can
Yes.
get my book.
Your signed copy.
My signed copy. My next one is Beach Read by Emily Henry. After putting this off for at least 2 years, I finally read it this year. It's not really about reading on a beach. It's about two authors who are trying to write each other's genre, basically. Like trying to branch out a little bit. It is, it's at like a lake house. It is still kind of like fun and summery, but not about reading on the beach.
What other genres these authors want to write?
So one writes romance, and then the other writes hard-hitting fiction kind of thing. Like it's based like literary fiction.
Literary fiction.
Like drama?
Yeah. I think he's writing about a cult.
Yeah.
Ah.
Or he's trying to.
Or he's trying to write about a cult when you're reading the books. Yeah. Or at least a character involved in a cult or escaped from something like that.
I would echo that recommendation. It's delightful. I mean, it's like some heavy shit, but it's good. My next one is if you're in the mood for fantasy, but you don't want to have to think like that deeply about it. Like you don't want a hard to follow fantasy. You don't want complex world building. And that is the Female series by Envy Wright. I recently speed ran through them all. They are technically a little bit darker because basically all the different species, like human, demons, orcs, everybody in this fantasy world, are having trouble having female children. And so then the females are really rare, and so they're kind of getting mistreated and like kind of sold off basically for profit. And then she gets into this kingdom, the kingdom of wrath, with like 3 demons, and it's a whole thing. And they're trying to figure out this situation and right the wrongs basically throughout the whole series. They're super short books, decently spicy, although not like super spicy. And like they have the traditional fantasy elements of like political intrigue, demons, orcs, like all that stuff, but it's not like you don't have to think that hard about it.
My next one I mentioned on my current reads, so that is Story of My Life by Lucy Score. I do want to point out that is on my 26 and 2026.
Boo hiss.
Just to let you
Boo
know.
hiss.
I just finished this book actually yesterday, and it's not really summer per se, but again, it takes place in the summer in Pennsylvania, at a lake, and there's like a rival town, and she ends up on the town council. It's fun and lighthearted and really good to read on the beach, as I did this weekend.
Or the lake,
correct.
My next one is if you want that like classic beach read vibe. Like it's got an interesting plot, but it's like more fiction. It's not really a romance, although there are romantic elements, and it takes place in a beach setting. Also, bonus points because this one was recently adapted into a TV show, and that is The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. Basically, this woman is like a food/lifestyle blogger, social media famous, and her husband unexpectedly dies in an accident, and she hears of this thing called the 5-Star Weekend, where you invite 5 friends from 5 different periods of your life to this weekend. So she goes out to her house on Nantucket, and it's her childhood best friend, her college best friend, her like mom era best friend, and then I think she's like her daughter or her account is one of the stars, and then her like social media best friend, which it's this woman who's a fan of her like content, and they've been communicating and they've connected over their grief because this woman has recently lost someone, and it turns out the person that she's recently lost is the main character's husband that she was having an affair with. So everybody, and there's like so much tension, and her daughter, she's having an estranged relationship with her daughter because her daughter's going through all this grief.
So is this not a spoiler?
No. It's like upfront.
Okay.
She doesn't know, but you know. Like, going in.
I do like it when books do that.
Yeah. And there's like tension between all the characters because like the childhood best friend and the college best friend don't like each other. They all have their own shit going on. Like the college best friend is this huge sports agent or like representative who's like being canceled on social media. The childhood best friend is having a health scare and like they haven't seen each other in years. She runs into like her high school sweetheart while on the small island. It's like there's so much going on in this book. And it's set on Nantucket in the summer, so that's cute.
Psst. Hey, it's Andrew, producer extraordinaire. Holly and CJ are keeping me hostage until we hit 1,000 subscribers. Please, help me by liking and sharing this episode. Okay, now go, before they come back. Go.
Okay, so now we're on to book 4. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So, my next one, I'm really bad at sticking to the plan. And I know we said we were going to make Andrew guess only one book, but I'm making him guess 2.
Okay.
So, the book title is Heathen and Honeysuckle.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
That's it.
Heathen and Honeysuckle.
Yep.
Is this like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Heathen. So okay, there's demons involved, or
No.
there's no demons involved.
No
Heathen
demons
Honeysuckle.
involved.
You know what? I think this one really stumped me. There's really nothing to go off of.
Mhm.
Wait, let me take a look at the cover. It's a green cover with like literally honeysuckles. Oh, nice sprayed edges. Yeah, I got nothing. You stumped
Okay.
me.
It is a romance book. It's a second chance romance, actually, about a surfer prodigy, and a girl that he met over the summer. So it's like they were teenage sweethearts, basically. She came to stay the summer with her grandma. They fell in love, and then she got yanked back to Kansas by her overbearing and controlling father, who's a part of the church. It's kind of a cult.
Oh.
So the book starts off with her on her wedding day. Her sister has written to her man from 10 years ago, pretty much, saying, like, come save her at this church this time. And he basically whisks her away.
So she's getting married to
somebody
someone.
of her father's choosing.
So it's like an arranged marriage.
Mm-hmm. But she doesn't want to.
Okay.
And so he whisks her away. And they go back to that seaside town that her grandma lived in, and now grandma is unfortunately dead, but she's staying in the house.
So
because the
who's the
grandma left
heathen
the house to her.
and who's Honeysuckle?
He's the heathen, she's Honeysuckle.
Okay.
All of that series, so it's a series of interconnected standalones. All of those series have like very, not like interesting titles, but it's kind of titles all like that, like Wicked and Wildflower and like Vice and Violet. The one that threw me off actually was in Vice and Violet. It's the girl who is Vice, and it's the guy who is Violet, which I wasn't expecting.
So would you recommend any of the books from this series for a summer read?
I mean,
or really
all
specifically
of them
this
kind
one because of the surfer?
Mostly because of the surfer, but the second one is like he's a mechanic and she's a baker. It's about the girl's sister. So that one would also be, and she is a single mom. So like I feel like that's also a summary read. The third one's a little bit heavy. I mean, they're all a little bit heavy because they have some darker themes, like her dad being super controlling and manipulative. But the third one is a little bit heftier because it requires a prequel too, because it's friends to lovers, but like they got together when they were teenagers, and then as soon as they got together, like she was dating his brother, and as soon as they got together, the brother died.
Oh.
So it deals with like a lot of grief. So like that one's probably not a summer read.
Yeah.
But the other two could be with some darker themes, just be warned.
Switching it up a little bit for my next one from that. This one, I would say the mood is like, if you want a little bit more of a time commitment, perhaps like a project for the whole summer. Also, you want to read a book that everybody and their sister is talking about. You want to read something a little outside your comfort zone. Also, I just think everyone needs to read it. Also, if you're looking for an audiobook, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Is it summery? No, actually, I think it takes place in winter. I don't
does.
care. I don't care. Everybody needs to read this book and talk about it with me. There's a talking cat. There's friendship. There's
You
found
heard it.
family. There's love.
You are more likely
There's
to get me to read
aliens.
that.
Somebody read this book so Holly can talk about it with somebody.
Yeah,
You're more
Caitlin,
likely to
read
get me
it.
to read that than Morning Glory Milking Farm.
Which is crazy, because objectively way crazier shit happens in Dungeon Crawler Carl. Trigger warning of foot fetishes, but I will not be explaining.
Oh. Oh.
But it's like in a funny way, not like in a for serious way.
Okay.
And that's all I'm gonna say. If you know, you know. And if you know, leave a comment.
Rowan has also been trying to get me to read that book, actually.
See? And have we ever led you astray? No.
I feel like you're leading me astray with Morning Glory Milking
No,
Farm.
you'll love it.
You'll never know until you read it.
It could be your favorite book of all time.
It won't be, but it could.
But it could be. And you'll never know.
It might ignite something inside you.
You're being
good.
close-minded.
Yes.
That's what
secret
Caitlin's afraid
milking
of.
fetish. Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
Caitlin-
that's
Well-
what I'm afraid of.
Well,
Great.
Yeah, I'll just let Caitlin take it away on that note.
Okay. My next one is Stolen Hearts. This one is also a second chance, but it's a vacation romance, which is fun because what do we like to do in the summer is we like to vacation. It follows it's a little insta-lovey, to be fair, but it follows a girl who's recently out of a breakup, who's the maid of honor at her friend's destination wedding, and the best man who's also fresh out of a breakup, and they pretty much fall in love over the course of like 10 days. And then something happens, obviously, because it's second chance. You don't know what yet. And then, yeah, years later, their friends, it might be 10 years, because I think the friends go back for their 10-year anniversary, but like, something happens, they get them, and they manipulate them back onto the island. I think it takes place in Hawaii, and he basically has like 2 weeks to win her back. Oh, but she has a kid now.
Oh, T.
Mm-hmm.
T.
It's good. It's good. But insta-lovey.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that sometimes, like in a summer romance. And like, again, sometimes I could kind of forgive it in the like tropical setting where you said, it takes place over like 10 days where you're like, yeah.
It's like when it's like the airplane theory, how people look 10 times hotter on the airplane. It's like that, I feel like.
Yeah,
like when you're on vacation, it's the mystery. People look hotter on vacation.
It's
so
like The Bachelor, where everybody's in
Yeah.
love after 3 weeks because they don't have to go to work.
Correct.
For my last one, before we get into the honorable mentions, I have another series a little bit shorter than Dungeon Crawler Carl. This one is perfect for if you're looking for like a mystery, but you don't want something like scary or spooky that's gonna like keep you up at night, and you also want to be like full on cackling at the pool or the beach because it's so funny. Like you want to be saying, I need a book where it's me and my ride or die bestie, and we accidentally get involved with the mob and are like being framed for murder, and we gotta figure out who done it. And that's the Finley Donovan series. Book 1 is Finley Donovan is killing it. She's a writer, like a romantic suspense writer, and she meets with her editor at Panera, and they're like talking about her recent book, like that she's plotting. And there's a woman there who thinks that she's a contract killer, so she hires her to kill her husband, and she's like, oh, no, I don't do that. But then the husband turns up dead in her minivan. She's getting a divorce also. Her husband is cheating on her with this other woman that he's already proposed to. They got 2 young kids, and he wants her to fire the nanny. The nanny walks in on her, like, trying to get rid of the body, and she's like, all right, let me go get a shovel. And then she's like, but you can't fire me now. And then they become ride or die besties. They all hate Steven, who's the ex-husband. And then she's kind of in a little love triangle between a hot cop and a young lawyer. So it's like, all the tension of like, oh my God, is she going to get caught? But also romance. But also then the mob is kind of involved. And there's, I think, 4 or 5 books out right now. All delightful.
I do have one more recommendation that I only just thought of, and it's Taurus Season by Bryn Weaver. It's a little bit, it's more of like darker romance. I've mentioned it before because I read it this year, but it takes place in like a little cute seaside town, I believe, over the summer. And tourists get murdered when they're rude, and I think
Oh.
it's beautiful.
So let's give a recap. CJ, give us a rundown of what books you recommend for this summer.
Okay, so P.S. I Hate You, Beach Read, Story of My Life, Heathen and Honeysuckle, Stolen Hearts, and Tourist Season.
And Holly, your 5 books?
Lucky Girl Summer, the Female Series, the 5-Star Weekend, Dungeon Crawler Carl, and Finley Donovan is killing it.
So you're only able to select 5. What honorable mentions were left off your list?
So, my honorable mentions are Love Overboard, which we have a whole episode on, so go check that out. But it's basically Below Deck. And then In Good Company / Bad for Business, like the Pembroke Hills series by Kat Singleton. That it takes place in the Hamptons. I think it's the Hamptons.
Yeah.
And it's just it's like rich people summer.
And then my 2. The first one is Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which is just another fun romance. It's a queer romance. It's got both heat and heart. And then lastly, my last honorable mention that I'm going to have Andrew guess what it's about is Bloom.
Bloom. Oh, I think I know this one actually.
You might.
Wait, a woman serial killer, right?
Yeah.
And does she is this the one where she like decorates her garden with bodies or something or
Nope. No, but there
Mm,
might be another one by that same author where she does that. You're on the right track. This one is a horror because again, I wanted to give a little something for everyone. It's very short, so you could just throw it in your little beach bag. It is kind of fun because it also starts off as a cute little sapphic romance meet cute at the University of Georgia Farmers Market, where this one girl who's new to town meets this other girl who has the best cupcakes at the farmers market, and you're like, oh, cute, love. Wrong. The cupcake lady, super crazy controlling serial killer partner.
whoa.
And what makes the bacon on her maple bacon cupcake so good? It's people bacon. It's people prosciutto.
Prosciutto.
And then you
People
find out.
prosciutto. Oh my gosh.
You find out that she like has partners, and then they find out, and they get icked out, and they try to leave, and she don't like that, and she doesn't let them. It is dark. Like, check the trigger warnings, and if you're not a horror person, I wouldn't suggest starting with this one. There's a lot of like visceral horror. There is accidental cannibalism for sure. But you know, it's
Sounds
got
like
a farmer's market, so it's kind of
sounds
summery.
like a fun day at the beach to me. Are you guys big beach readers? Like do you like to read at the beach?
Yes.
Yeah.
And does the location where you're reading affect what you're reading?
Not always.
It's like
More
wherever you're
so,
reading at the current time or
yes, but with a caveat. Like, it has to be like on my Kindle or like on my
Yeah.
Libby app on my phone. Like, I don't like to bring like actual books to the beach or the pool.
Correct. Yeah. But like I have read like an absolute diabolical like mafia romance at the pool.
Yeah. We have no shame.
Yeah.
Ain't no shame in our game.
All right, well, that was our summer reading recommendations 2026. Caitlin, send us home.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode, and thank you for being a part of Trigger Warnings Book Club. Leave us a comment wherever you're listening and tell us what you're reading this summer. Lastly, follow us on Instagram at trigger.warnings.bookclub.
And actually, one more thing. I'm running the New York City Marathon this year, raising money for the Book Fairies, a charity that gets books into the hands of kids who need them. If you'd like to support my run, all the links are in the show notes and our Instagram bio. Every little bit helps. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.